What if language learning wasn't about passing a test, but about building meaning, connection, and confidence? In this conversation, I will speak with Dwi, the creator of My Story to Be Told, about her vision for a learning ecosystem that helps learners grow through collaboration and purpose. Dwi, you often mention that My Story to Be Told is part of a larger learning ecosystem. What is your vision for this system, especially for IELTS learners?
I can see in the near future learners easily accessing a daily environment for both deep practice and real English usage, where language sticks effortlessly and skills are applied meaningfully through work. For example, in our IELTS courses at Liberate English, students join projects where they use English to support others. Lynn, one of our students, is a Thai teacher who's great at learning languages. We paired her with Mai, her classmate, to help improve Mai's IELTS listening skills. On the other hand, Mai has a knack for building healthy habits, such as exercising, so she helps Lynn start doing yoga for better well-being. They work together for 2 weeks, and later, they'll offer support to a foreign learner in the same area.
That's such an interesting model. Students learning through contribution and collaboration. You seem to take a very hands-on, practical approach to learning design. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. I've always had a very practical mindset when it comes to learning languages. Since the start of my career, I focused on teaching students the 20% core knowledge they need to hold natural conversations, and then helping them practice until they can respond confidently and automatically. After a course or two, I often take my students to hostels or restaurants in Hanoi's Old Quarter to help them get English-speaking jobs. That's where they can use English in real, spontaneous situations with actual people.
That sounds both creative and incredibly effective. Did it work?
It did. For working professionals, I even suggested using dating apps to practice English conversations. Not many of them actually tried it, but those who got part-time speaking jobs improved tremendously, and many later landed positions at international companies. At the end of the day, all learning principles, whether it's deliberate learning or emotion-blended learning, are just ways to simulate real-life environments. But the truth is, the best learning environment is real life. So rather than endlessly accumulating knowledge, it's far more effective to practice in context and immerse yourself in it.
That's such an insightful reminder. Learning happens when we live the language, not just study it. But I have to ask, why do you think the current approach doesn't work for many learners?
One key reason is that it neither fosters understanding nor develops real skills. I've taken the IELTS test several times myself, and after teaching many students, I've noticed something striking. Many of the topics in IELTS Speaking Part 3, like biological disruption or the loss of cultural traditions, are things we rarely talk about even in Vietnamese. Do you ever meet your friends and start a chat about the impact of globalization or biodiversity loss? Of course not. Now, imagine going into an exam and being asked those questions in English when you don't even have a clear opinion about them in your mother tongue.
That's so true. No wonder learners feel anxious and stuck.
Exactly. Most learners just memorize model answers without truly understanding them. So when exam pressure hits, they can't recall the information, not because they didn't work hard enough, but because they never processed it deeply. That's why deep learning matters. Understanding first, then practice deliberately to strengthen memory and skill. That's the foundation of effective learning.
That's such a clear message. If you could sum it up in one sentence, what would your final thought be?
Deep learning is key. Cramming is a trap.
Short, honest, and absolutely true. Dwi, thank you once again for joining us and sharing your insights. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to My Story to Be Told. Stay curious, stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode.